What's the dumbest thing you believed as a kid that still embarrasses you? I used to think teachers lived at school. If I swallowed a black watermelon seed, a watermelon would grow in my stomach. I accepted my fate when I was 4. We would get fish and chips on the weekend for dinner. I thought that the chips and the fish both came from the sea. That men had a different number of ribs compared to women. I thought that the sea was salty because of whales' piss. I used to think that if I blew on a hot Cheeto, it would cool off. As a kid, I often misremembered dreams for reality, and on some level I was convinced that high school was more or less a prison system with cages for individual students instead of desks. That what was on the TV was only on if I was watching, as if they were doing it just for me. That actors actually died during the filming when they got killed on the screen. That there was all-knowing, all-powerful, divine entity that created us and loved us all equally. I also believed that same entity sent a flood to kill every man, woman, and child, except for one family. That there was a different elevator for each floor. All people are decent. My parents used to tell me that not to open your mouth when an airplane flew by because things will be dropped directly after people flush the toilet, lol. When I was little and I asked my mom how was I born, and she said that I fell from the sky and my dad, and she had to catch me. My 4 to 5 years old dumb did believe that, sure, but I used to think, how did they know when I was gonna fall, who told them, etc. I don't remember much, but we were given an essay to write about who is our crush, and I thought it was environmental related crush, like having to crush garbage, and also I wrote the whole essay about how to crush garbage, loudly crying face. Girls had penises, they just kept it tucked between their butt cheeks so nobody would notice it. I asked my dad, based on his childhood photos, what was it like when everything became color? That kissing could directly cause pregnancy. That there was a secret world underneath the artificial plant section at Michael's craft store. The cars in Formula 1 and all other racing used to stop during the ice breaks. That the world was black and white back in the day due to me watching old movies. Believed that until I was 5 and asked my mom. She couldn't stop laughing. I believed my middle name was spelled Stewart until I was 14. It's actually Stewart. I believed that humanity was in a state of utter primacy and all technological advancements began in the year 1900. I believed that electricity was a supernatural we harnessed. I believed the world was somehow 2016 years old. I grew up in the Washington, D.C. area. The mayor at the time was Marion Barry. Whenever I watched the news and there was a story on him, I didn't hear his name as Marion Barry. I heard it as Mary and Barry. I always wondered why Mary never got out of the limo. That dogs were the male and cats the female of the same species.